how will the store of the future be?
Well, one of the things I think we're noticing, if the United States is an example, and we don't know if those examples will translate to other economies or other cultures, but what we're seeing is the store of the future is going to incorporate a lot of tech, I think, so that it's a seamless experience from the phone or maybe voice recognition to online. And so the most important thing, I think, of some of the stores in the future is to be able to capture the data. Because what we're learning is the more data you can get about a consumer, the more that you can give them what they want and customize the situation. So in the US, we're seeing, I didn't get a chance to talk about this, but we're seeing stores where there's tech in the store, there's beacons in the store. If you turn on your phone and plug into the app, you can record all the data, you can record where people go in the store, you can send in-store messages to the consumer while they're in the store based on their historic shopping behavior. We've seen dressing rooms where there's an RFID reader up there and you can they'll know what you're bringing into the dressing room so they can suggest other things. So some of the newer stores have this kind of high tech.
Mm-hmm. And when the e-commerce will surpass the physical commerce, the traditional commerce?
You know, I think most retail analysts predict the physical store is never going to go away. It's going to morph, it's going to change, so what people are going to do in the physical store may be different. There's some categories that are just so easy to purchase online. If you want to repurchase, routine purchases, things that are not enjoyable shopping experiences, I think you'll start to see a higher penetration of online. But I don't think physical stores will ever go away. And I do think at some point the growth in e-commerce will flatten out.
Mm-hmm. Are distribution chains ready, prepared to take on this new reality, this new situation?
Well, it depends. Some of them are more ready than others. What we know is in the cost structure is the last mile is the most expensive part. So that means delivering to the end user. And Amazon is really creating this expectation that you can have anything you want delivered. But that is very expensive. And there are different retailers have different, setups to accommodate that. The other thing that's different is if you're going to go online, a lot of times you go direct, not necessarily through a lot of different layers. And some retailers are much better at doing that than others. So for example, Zara, although it wasn't a leader in e-commerce, it was always direct and always did direct, not to the end user, but direct from the factories to the individual stores. So they've always been set up to do that. Whereas other retailers went to distribution centers, and those distribution centers may not be in the right place for distributing to the end user. And you saw that even with Amazon. So Amazon had these warehouses that worked for online, but then they weren't, what they really were going to do this last mile, that's part of the reason they purchased Whole Foods, because the Whole Foods were closer to where the consumers are. So the logistics and the supply chain and all of that may change as shopping becomes more online versus offline.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Thank you.